Just recording a video in here. What's up guys, welcome back to our channel. As you know, I'm Eamon.
And I'm Bec.
And we live in our Sprinter van full time. Now we wanted to put together a video about top 10, a list of things that we literally couldn't live without. So I think this would apply to anyone, regardless of you living in a van right now, or even if you live in a tiny space, or even if you just live in a normal house, you might see some of these things that might perk your interest, like, dang, that looks key. Yeah,
and we don't shop at all. Like, we don't accumulate things.
We don't ever shop at all?
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, like,
That's what it sounded like?
I know you're just trying to be goofy, but for some reason I didn't like that. Eamon and I don't accumulate things for the sake of accumulating things, especially because we live in 60 square feet. So everything that's on this list we use all the time and we feel like we couldn't live without at this point. I just thought that was an important point to make.
Legit or Don Ditter. It's true. So yeah, without further, dragging this intro on, let's just jump right into it.
Sure.
And we're gonna leave links. Links are gonna be in the description below. First thing we have on our list, something really random, and I was just scrolling on Amazon and found it. It is a little toothbrush holder. Okay, so there's two of us that live in this van. So we've got our little toothbrush holder and it just works so well. You just hook them on there. It helps get everything out of the way. You know, sometimes you could be digging through a drawer looking for your toothbrush and notice there's like some crumbs in the bottom of the drawer, and then it's on your brush, and then you're like brushing your mouth and you're pulling out crumbs out of your mouth. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but I don't ever want it to happen to me. So it's nice that it just stays organized, clean, always hanging, also drips, dries. It's a beautiful thing.
We really love our toothbrush holder. Number 2 are our spice jars. So the jars themselves are from Nice Spice. You can get them on Amazon as well. And they're cute little mason jars, and then the lids are magnetic. So you can actually stick it. We keep them all along the fridge. I've seen some really neat designs of people who have, similar to our knife rack, that's magnetized, and they just stick them all along there. Really accessible. It makes cooking and flavoring our food so much more enjoyable because, again, you're not rummaging through
little Ziploc bags of
drawers
spices
or whatever it might be. It's all right there. Very clear what we need to restock on, what's going on. Spice jars. It's almost like a decorative piece, our spice jars, because the spices are so bright, and we've got turmeric and cayenne pepper and all that kind of stuff. As soon as we open the side door, our number one compliment is on our spice jars.
Sure.
Oh, are those spices? So, use it as a decorative piece as well.
Yeah. Nice Spice. It took us a while to learn how to pronounce your name. All right, it's with a G. Who figures? Who would have known? Good Nice Spice, I was saying in all my shoutouts, so I apologize. I've learned
Nice Spice
since then.
Yes.
What is that about? Nice Spice.
Is it like a? It's like it must be a word that means something.
Oh, like double meaning kind of vibe.
No, like the word nice means something.
Number 3 is a fan, believe it or not, but it's a very key fan. It's not our vent fan, but it's a fan that we actually added recently, and I can't believe we spent this much on a fan, but we were actually talking to another van lifer who recommended it. Actually, a couple of you guys, and we went for it. So the reason why we love this fan is it actually spins and swivels and oscillates 360 degrees. It's DC, so super efficient. It's got a tiny little, nice and quiet motor, and we also love it because it stows away. So it actually flips up, totally out of the way when we're not using it, and then when we are using it, we can flip it down and angle it however you wish. So I really couldn't imagine not having that fan though.
It does tickle my hair in the middle of the night and wake me up. You could place it better than we've placed ours. I feel like you get all of the benefits of it, it's too close to me, and it like my hairs tickle my face and wake me up.
All right, let's take it off the list.
Number 4, I'm so excited that this landed on me because the Keep Cup is my favorite.
I don't know why, but I didn't get one.
I think I asked you if you wanted one. This is so funny. It was probably around the time you got a boosted board and I said you couldn't spend any more money. And I'm like, well, I want a Keep Cup. I love it because, well, A, it's reusable, so I'm not going in and, taking takeaway cups from places anymore. But also I found on this last big road trip that I could take my reusable cup into a gas station and just ask for hot water for free. And put my own tea bag in, which I absolutely love doing. And it's just like the perfect little accessory for van life.
The 5th thing that we put on our list is a fruit hammock. This is pretty much a van life staple. You'll see it on Instagram and a number of other van lifers. But this little fruit hammock, it's pretty inexpensive, and it really does help, you know, get those extra things. It's not even just for fruit. Like we put, you know, garlic and...
We had our vitamins in there for a couple of weeks.
Anytime you just want to get stuff off the cupboard, it's great to just have like a spot.
Yeah.
It's almost like an extra shelf.
Yeah.
Make sure that you angle it properly. It took us a few tries to figure this out, but eventually 40 Hours of Freedom told us, no, it's gotta be real angled. So you get that swing motion, not hitting against the backsplash, because you will destroy bananas and avocados and tomatoes.
Oh, tomatoes.
It's a big cleanup.
I love all of these things, but I'm so excited about the ones I get to talk about. I'm so happy they're landing on me.
There's just no order, and it
no,
just
I
keeps
know.
hitting you hard.
Okay, when in our office and when we had an apartment, I was totally obsessed with proper diffusers for essential oils. And then about a year ago, I discovered Sage created this car diffuser. It's compact, it won't break or shatter if it happens to fall over, and it allows me to diffuse my essential oils. So I also really recently got a blend pack, and it's got liquid sunshine, my favorite. It's really citrusy and fresh, and it really helps just bring a little bit of new life and some vibrant smells to the van. People often ask us if the van smells, especially when we're cooking, and often we'll say no, but that can be a lie sometimes too. Like for the most part, it doesn't smell, but sometimes when it's really hot out.
The biggest thing is like gray water. If you're not in the van for a few days, the gray water will start to smell. If you're in the van living every day, like the water rushes through it and you're emptying it constantly.
It's so true. I feel like when we're back at the office, we don't use it as much, and so it goes a bit stale. So even yesterday, I was like, just leave the diffuser running while we're at the office, because it just starts stinking up.
I've grown to love it as well.
I know. Remember when I brought it home and you're like, oh, I'm gonna hate this. I don't want this. And now you're like, oh, why don't you throw in some Tranquility Blend, Beth?
Yeah, it's
You
nice.
also built the most beautiful cup holder for it. So it sits perfectly in the back area, because I think most people use this car diffuser for the front of their car. But yeah, we have it set up in the back, which is
And that's
great.
a big tip. I would totally recommend you to build a home for it, because otherwise it's just a piece of junk that's constantly in the way. I didn't want that. I want it to be like, okay, you want to turn the diffuser on, it's there, fill it up, boom. The next one we want to talk about is our bug screen.
Huge question. People ask us about the bug screen all the time, so we'll link
this
it.
one we actually got from Grateful Pursuit. They're on Instagram. You can check them out, and they gave me a full rundown on how they installed it. So we basically just took the rubber gasket off, cut out this bug screen that we got off Amazon with a magnetic close on it. So it was like 50 bucks, way cheaper than some of the other Sprinter options you could buy, like custom for Sprinter vans. And you just kind of fit it around the gusset, and it works well. One piece of advice I would have is we made it a little bit too tight, so it just closes, so it's kind of a pain. But Trent and Allie, they did theirs, and it's almost perfect, where you leave the van and the magnets just kind of, it's like harmony, like.
Next on our list is our Vitamix blender. If you guys have seen our build before, it's kind of the standout piece. It's like a shrine for the blender. We absolutely love it. Use it every day for smoothies, making different vegan cheeses and all that kind of good stuff. So we absolutely love the blender. I think it makes the fact that we don't have an oven or all of the other kitchen utensils that you would have in a normal home or a condo, it kind of makes up and replaces a lot of those things. Like we can't have a juicer,
100%.
for example, but the Vitamix can do that. We can't have a this, but we have a that.
We've gone through our fair share, so we went through like the ninjas and the,
oh man,
magic bullets and all that crap. And when you actually add up how much money you're gonna spend on all the crappy ones, yes, it's a $500 blender, but at the same time, this thing is a beast and it will last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
So
we've had it for 2 years.
don't like
and we love
hiccup.
it.
If you think you're gonna use it, invest in a good blender.
It's one of those things, yo.
We got a couple more for you. The next one here is very, very clutch. And I've talked to a few people that have installed this now, and they say I couldn't imagine not having this in their van, and we totally agree. We've had it from day one because I knew we'd want it, but it's our water filtration. So it's actually such a simple product. The brand is Watts, but there's a number of different brands you can buy. Once again, it's gonna be linked below. Ours is just a 2-stage filtration system. So it's got a big canister that is sediment, so it strains all the little particles that might be going through there. And the next one's carbon, so it's just gonna help purify it a little bit more. So just to have that extra little precaution in having your water extra filtered is really important, especially because we fill up from some questionable sources sometimes where you're not sure how clean the water is. You definitely want a water filtration system. It's super easy to install. You can just run it off the existing line you have, and you know, basically the pump will turn on as soon as you turn on the tap.
Number 10 is our blinds for our windows. When we first moved into the van, we just cut out Reflectix, the shape of our window, and shoved it in there with like a little piece of fabric on the back to make it look not that bad.
And they looked great.
They looked fine, but you know what the biggest problem with those was? We never took them down, because taking them down meant you just had this sheet this large and you didn't know what to do with it, and then you'd put it under the bed and then the bed would slide because it wasn't gripped, and it was just kind of a nightmare to every day like roll up your blinds. It didn't feel like that at all, in my opinion. So when we were in Portland, we met up with 6 Weeks by Van, and they are starting a company where they're creating these blinds, and they gave us samples of them.
They're amazing.
Changer.
It's one of those things where you don't realize
Yes.
how much of a game changer it is until you have it. And they're not cheap because they're handmade by this amazing couple. But 100%, if we didn't have these, I would go and buy them.
And I'm not sure if they're even available yet. We're gonna link their Instagram below.
You might not even be able to buy them.
It's got the Reflectix, or that like heat barrier. We can roll them up and clip them, and then they're magnetized and they fit perfectly along the window. So just super love the blinds.
They're unbelievable.
Love them, love them, love them.
Great job, guys.
Love them. The last thing is a bonus.
Oh, we're giving them a bonus.
Yeah.
It's something we use every day, of course. It's an essential. It's our little pot and chai kit. So shout out to Chaiwala. Whoop, whoop. This video is sponsored. But no, seriously, it just, if you are a tea drinker and you drink chai every day, or if you drink it multiple times a week, you might want to invest in the little pot. It just makes making the tea a lot easier than getting a big pot and an improper strainer. So we have like a little set, bing, and you know, milk, chai, strain, enjoy. And that's it.
A lot of people talk so much about their coffee equipment and how important that is to them. And our chai equipment is just as important to us as your coffee equipment might be to you.
There's zero waste when you're using that, right? You don't need to use a tea bag. You can literally just do a scoop, boil the water, boom, drink it, strain it.
And compostable, like the tea can go in the compost,
Yeah.
and you're zero waste. I like that point, I really do. Plus the chai is so healthy and good for you, and it'll keep you on the road feeling strong and glowing and
your superpowers.
Exactly.
You want to be as good looking as she is.
Thanks, buddy. If you're interested in checking out our chai company or any of the other products or companies that we've chatted about, everything will be linked in the description box below. I would love to know if we're missing your van life essential item. Because maybe it's one of those items that we didn't know we needed, and we're gonna go and investigate and maybe purchase. So let us know in the comments below if you have any suggestions.
Hopefully you guys saw value in this vidster. If you did, smash the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to our channel.
We have some super exciting stuff going down right now. We are, oh, should I tell them?
Yeah.
We're puppy sitting.
Yep.
We've got the greatest 1-year-old dog named Bruce. He's with us. We're gonna be spending a little over a week and a half with him, and we're the new puppy parents. So a huge fun vlog coming out on Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And until then, peace, love.
Peace, love, play hard, work hard.
So good.
This is probably what you're gonna see next week, something along those lines.
You're so good.
Good boy.
You're so good.
Good boy.
Yeah.